Alright guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to quickly install a reverse component single speed kit. So this is what you're going to need: a 6mm Allen key, cassette tool, chain whip, the spacers that come in the reverse components kit, and the bolt and the reverse components chain tensioner that you're going to need in the kit. Okay? Alright, and first things first, cassette tool and chain whip. Just take the old cassette off. Oh, drop that. So the cassette spins that way to stop it doing that. That's what the chain whip's for. So I put the chain whip on, some good leverage on it. And then sometimes things are really tight, so you get the cassette tool. It helps with hubs. If you remove the little spacer, it goes in there, the end cap, and then just pull that out with some pliers without popping the hub off, the free hub off. Get the cassette tool, put it in, it should sit nicely in there, and then it's lefty loosey. Oh, there you go, and she's loose. So this is a H2 drive cassette. They are known to get stuck on the free hub, so I'll show you how to get that off in a minute. What happens is they dig into the free hub and they start to jam themselves on. I didn't take this off too long ago, so be careful not to pull the free hub off when you do it. It's not the end of the world if you do, but I'm just going to slowly try and work this off. Oh, see, straight away I pulled the free hub off. So you just got to be real careful. It doesn't matter if you do, just remember to push the little seal back in after. So these aren't coming off too bad at the moment. I've had it before where I have to get in a screwdriver in there in between. I'll show you how to do that quickly. So I like to use this kind of screwdriver, nice old screwdriver, and just work it into the joints between, and just work it off the free hub, because it gets real stiff. Sometimes a bit WD-40 might help. The cassette's off, and file away all the little burrs which are holding the cassette on. That'll help you next time. Just keep working away at it, it will come off. And if you do pop the free hub off, be careful not to lose the pulls and springs on the inside. If they do come out, don't stress, just put them aside until you're done and put them in afterwards. Okay, that's it. The cassette is off, and this is what the HT drive free hub looks like. You can probably see all the little burrs on there. Remember to file them down a little bit before you put the cassette tool back on to make it easier for the next time you get it off. Okay, so this is the single speed tensioner. It just mounts to the SRAM UDH hanger or any derailleur hanger which comes on your bike. This is where you got to get lined up with the chain line. The cranks currently aren't on the bike, but I'm going to put some cranks on. You got to eyeball it so the tensioner, the cog, and the chain ring are all in a good chain line. That's the hard bit. And then you do that with these little spacers that come on the bolt. The new one doesn't have this. This is the old tensioner. The new one has a sliding adjustment thing on it, but they come with these little washers, and you've got to place them either side to get the best line. You can't really do that until the cog's on, but with the cranks on, you've got to eyeball where the cog's going to sit on the free hub. So I'll show you that in a second. So this is the part where I put the spacers on the driver. You just got to find enough spacers to fill the whole driver up so you can get enough preload on the spacers for the cog to be tight on there. You'll be quite simple when you get the spacers in the lock ring. Just don't do the lock ring up too tight just yet, because you might have to adjust it depending on where the tensioner sits and the chain ring sits. So I've put my spacers on where I think they're going to go. Just grab the cassette tool, and I'm about to tighten up the lock ring. Not too tight, as I said, but just tight enough so it sits in the right place. Okay, here it is on the bike. Let's put it on the bike and just eyeball it to the cranks and the tensioner. So now that your chainring, tensioner, and the cog are all lined up, put the tensioner on. It should be sitting about 1 mil to 1.5 mil below the cog. So if you don't do that, the chain's quite likely to skip when you pedal. To get the chain on, you might have to loosen off the tensioner on the bolt. So just loosen that off for now and don't worry about tying it up until the chain's on. Just double check it's all in line. If not, take the wheel off, take the spacers off and adjust where the cog sits on the free hub. All right, last step then, cranks are on. Now just put the chain on. So split the chain on the quick link, take the quick links off, put them somewhere safe. And then what you want to do is just feed it through this top cog, like this. And you'll be able to work out if it's too tight or too close or too far away. Important thing to note here is make sure the tension is sat about 1 mil to 1.5 mil away from the cog just underneath. It should be in a straight line and about 1 mil and 1.5 mil, otherwise the chain will skip. Also, make sure it's not too close that the cog and the other cog rub on each other. When you found the right place, hold the tensioner and tighten the bolt up nice and tight so it doesn't move anywhere. Everything's lined up. I'm putting the chain on. Now I'm just got to connect the chain together. Just double checking it's lined up. Okay, right now, join the chain. Hopefully I'll cut this chain to the right size. I think it should be. Otherwise that's a quick job. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Join the chain up with a quick link. If you join the chain up and it's too slack, you can always remove another link. I recommend not taking too many links out, just start with one, and if it's still too slack, work your way down. It should be flapping around a little bit, but not too much. I don't know, might need to shorten the chain a touch. Just get a little bit more. Not too sure actually, let me tighten it up. Have a little bounce down the road. That should be perfect. Bit of sound coming from there, I'm not sure where that's coming from. It looks perfect to me. I'm happy with that chain line, that chain as well. Might put an STFU on the top. You can always take away a link if needed. So, yeah, now pedal it down the road, and if you get much jumping in the chain on skipping, put that closer. If that doesn't work, shorten the chain slightly so there's a little bit more tension on it. Okay, and that's the end of the video. I hope that was helpful. Peace.